Upon waking up, Lin Ye arrived at the Divine Drama set and became a group performer. Equipped with a network of actor systems, adding friends can enhance your acting skills. Social network of ordinary people. 339, Star Network. 0, Deng. Entertainment Celebrity Network +1, now you have all the experiences and acting skills of his career. Colonel Lin Ye. Chainsaw Ancient Painting, Xixi Object Wei Junjie. With all kinds of torture tools at hand, I believe I can definitely pry open Your Excellency's mouth. This was taste exploded, and the entire network suddenly became popular. The police uncle checked him, this guy doesn't seem to be playing. The crew is really amazing, they even invited real devils to participate. Strictly investigate the 3 generations of ancestors. Nowadays, technology is really advanced. Even through the screen, I can get so angry that my brain hurts. A movie called The Burning Sun has caused a nationwide report, and the criminal has appeared in the movie. A movie called Jinghai Fury has sparked a wave of fish eating. A detective Chinatown movie, I am incompatible with evil. At this point, as soon as Lin Ye's screen image appears, she can scare and cry children. Keywords of the novel. At the beginning of the play, it is recommended to strictly investigate whether he does not act as a colonel without a pop-up window. At the beginning of the play, it is recommended to strictly investigate whether he does not act as a colonel. Download the full text of the TV series. At the beginning of the play, it is recommended to strictly investigate whether he does not act as a colonel. Read the latest chapters that suggest he does not act as a colonel. Chapter 1. Network Actor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Network Actor. Upon waking up, Lin Ye found herself lying on the grass in a khaki military uniform. He sat up in confusion. Who am I? Where am I? Lin Ye looked around and found that there were people wearing khaki military uniforms just like him. And everyone looked at him with extremely strange eyes. These eyes seemed to say, "Are you Yu Bing, deep fried round and flat dough cake?" Click. A loud shout came, followed by various unpleasant insults. Who stepped on a horse to find this person? Tell him to get out of here quickly. What a waste of glue. The obese man standing next to the director responded, "Sorry director, I'll handle it." Watching the angry group leader walking towards him and the camera machines hanging in the distance around him, Lin Ye finally realized that he had not only traveled, but also traveled through a set. "Lin Ye, did you just wake up from sleep?" The group leader grabbed Lin Ye's collar and pulled him up from the ground. "Walking around, causing me to be scolded by the director." Lin Ye was kicked out of the set without even having a chance to say anything. Because in his mind, there is a mass of memories merging. Lin Ye, 23 years old, has been wandering for 2.5 years, appearing in numerous movies and TV dramas. But without exception, they are all group performances. Occasionally showing his face, but with heavy ugly makeup. Most of them are tool people who don't show their faces. Characters with dialogue are even rarer. I live in a suburban area 15 kilometers away from Hundian. The rental house is a 3-bedroom apartment with 1 living room, and I also have 2 shared island roommates, male. Until now, Lin Ye has not recovered. Isn't this time traveling too hastily? Last night, he stayed up all night reading novels on QQ using his phone, and even made a wish before going to bed, hoping that he would wake up tomorrow and travel for a while. As a result, it really crossed over. Ding. The network of the movie Emperor system awakens. Expanding the host's network can enhance acting skills. Entertainment Celebrity Network. None, Social Network of Ordinary People. 339, Network Actor. What the hell is that? Before Lin Ye could ask a question, the system automatically explained in his mind. Adding others as friends can be considered as the host's network reserve. Can adding friends make you stronger? Lin Ye's eyes lit up. Isn't this too simple? He returned to the set now and ran straight to the main actors, shamelessly adding WeChat one by one. Just do it as soon as you think. Lin Ye turns around the same way. The scene just now happened to end. Lunch was on set, and Lin Ye walked up to a male actor playing the 8th Root Army. "Hello, are you teacher Zhang Sungwen?" Zhang Sungwen put down his chopsticks and looked up at Lin Ye, saying politely, "Hello. I have been watching your plays since I was young, and you are my mentor on the road of acting. I really like you. I have been a fan for 10 years. Can you help me sign my name?" "My honor, my honor." Zhang Sungwen was surprised to meet fans on the set, who were still a group performer. He was also very happy, so he borrowed a pen and asked Lin Ye where to sign. Lin Ye had no paper on his body and his clothes belonged to the crew, so he had to extend his right hand and say, "Why don't you sign my hand?" Teacher Zhang hesitated for a moment before agreeing, "Okay." As the pen tip slid, Lin Ye only felt an itch in her palms. "All right." He looked at the signature and suddenly said, "Okay, thank you. Can you sign another one?" "Ah." Lin Ye took out her phone without blushing or jumping. "Your WeChat ID, sign here." Teacher Zhang looked bewildered. "We are both in the same crew, which means it's fate. Would it be convenient to add you on WeChat?" The other party hesitated. After all, it was a private WeChat. "I am your 10-year-old fan." "Okay, then add one more." Zhang Sungwen was successfully kidnapped by Lin Ye. Ding. Entertainment Celebrity Network +1, the entertainment star is a talented actor, and now you have all the experiences and acting skills of their career. Just adding a friend. Lin Ye is now like an unknown poor boy, instantly possessing billions of wealth. He looked back on teacher Zhang Songwen's acting career, although he had not played a few male leads, each character deeply ingrained in people's hearts. She has acted in the suspense TV series, The Second Side, the costume drama, The Secret History of Concubine Yang, and the last, Sweeping Ink, The Battle, and was nominated as the Best Supporting Actor of the 30th Huading Award. These past events are as vivid as Lin Ye's personal experience, vividly remembered. "Didn't I let you go? Why are you still here?" As the obese group walked out carrying their lunch boxes, they happened to see Lin Ye. 1-2, I'm here to talk to teacher Zhang about acting skills." "Acting skills? Do you still deserve to talk to others about acting skills?" Lin Ye's words made Wang Tu laugh. Wang Tu is a famous group performance leader in Hendian, with extremely strong appeal. Many of the crew members who came to Hendian to film like to collaborate with him. The reason is also very simple, the group acting he found is cheap and useful. Lin Ye is quite familiar with him and has been working under his command for the past 2 years. Although he can't make much money, he can barely afford to eat and pay rent. "Hurry up, get out. Don't get in the way here." After speaking, Wang Tu threw the finished boxed lunch into the nearby trash can. Then he walked outside the set and shouted loudly, playing the role of a little devil, "Is anyone doing it for 3 hours and 50 yuan?" Immediately below, he shouted like a pot was boiling. Me. I'll be fine at 40. I'm 30. I don't want any money. Just take care of the food." Wang Tu immediately pointed at the old man and said, "It's just you. Is there anyone who can speak Japanese?" There is also a role of a sergeant, with 3 sentences and 50 words. Me. I can say. Oh, Shishya. One warehouse. Wang Tu frowned, "Your Japanese is not for this kind of movie." Suddenly, a figure appeared behind the king's head and patted him. "It's Lin Ye." "Wang Tu, I can play the role of colonel. Get out of here. I was scolded by the director for half an hour today." "Oh, Wang Tu, don't be angry. You forgot that there are still 2 island roommates living in my house. I have really learned a little Japanese. Upon being reminded by Lin Ye, Wang Tu immediately remembered. Hey, really? Those two devils are still staying at your house and haven't left. Lin Ye nodded and said, it's almost too late. They came to China for a poor trip and will leave by the end of this month. I'll have to find a roommate again, otherwise I won't be able to pay rent alone, so you let me give it a try. Then you say a few words in Japanese and I'll listen. After brewing for a while, Lin Ye blurted out, dig, dig. How much oil does it contain? Sleeping slot. Are you really good at it, kid? Okay, it's you. The king put a military cap directly on Lin Ye's head. Put on your hat and come with me. Say 3 lines. Not a single sentence is really bad. This scene is in the Japanese military camp, and the crew has already set up the scene in the shed. The person who played against Lin Ye was a Chinese youth who would rather die than surrender. The lighting team is ready, put the radio over here. Take your positions. The assistant director's loud voice filled the entire set. With a crisp tone from the audience, Lin Ye's career in the entertainment industry became filled with the most spoken character. Honestly explain. Lin Ye blurted out a Japanese sentence from her mouth. The people present, from Wang Tu to the opposing actors, and then to the group performances, deputy directors, and directors, all looked bewildered, sleeping trough. Where did you find the real devil? The deputy director looked at Wang Tu in surprise. He is not from an island country, he is from China. The director was stunned and couldn't believe it, saying, with such a strong taste, are you sure he's from China? Lin Ye was extremely serious at this moment, but for some reason, she still felt like she wasn't getting into the show enough. Is it because teacher Zhang Sungwen has never played the role of a devil? And the opposing actor also had a bewildered expression, completely unable to pick up his lines. System, can I access the experiences of ordinary friends? Sure. Can you help me recall the life experiences of my 2 roommates? Call completed, you have obtained the lifelong experiences of Yamamoto Dojin and Murakami Noda. Suddenly, Lin Ye felt like a purebred island person who had lived for 2 lifetimes. Speaking Japanese is smooth and fluent, without the need to go through the brain. Who exactly is the person blocking my imperial army on Oshima? Japanese version, the opposing actor has a bewildered expression on his face. What exactly is this guy saying? Suddenly, Lin Ye remembered how her 2 roommates were learning to speak Chinese. Then he said his last line to the actor in front of him. This sentence must be played well. Otherwise, the salary this time will be ruined again. Chonghua Post Office's stock plan called Wash 50% off Wei Junjie. With all kinds of torture tools at hand, I believe I can definitely pry open Your Excellency's drunkenness. After speaking the lines, the opposing actor immediately had a physiological reaction. He even felt like the Japanese captain in front of him was really going to pick up a tongs and scald him. Signing a contract, investing without loss, end of this chapter. Chapter 2. Divine drama is truly a divine drama. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Divine drama is truly a divine drama. Click. Just as Lin Ye was about to pick up the criminal detention and punish him, the director suddenly shouted, click, sleeping trough. Brother, do you really want to mess with me? The opposing actors are all scared out of their wits. Sorry about that. Lin Ye quickly regained the acting god of the Grand Marshal and returned to become a Xia person named Lin Ye in Chenghua. Well done. What's the name? The deputy director and Wang Tu walked over together. Hello deputy director, my name is Lin Ye. Remember the name, if there are any small characters in the future, you can let him play them. Oka. Wang Tu agreed and looked at Lin Ye with admiration. He smiled and said, Lin Ye, I usually teach you acting, right? Ah. I didn't expect you to work hard, kid. You actually learned all the things I gave you. Lin Ye finally understood that Wang Tu was asking for credit. Hard rubbing, right? Yes, yes, Wang Tu always teaches well. Lin Ye, the second son of Chonghua, deeply understands the essence of human relationships and worldly wisdom. Although Wang Tu has a low status, he has some skills. Having multiple friends and multiple paths, Lin Ye, who possesses the system, believes that any network can accept it. You haven't had lunch yet, have you? Go over there and get a box. Wang Tu suddenly treated himself so well that Lin Ye was a bit uncomfortable. Great. Go ahead, if you don't go, it'll cool down soon. Hey. Lin Ye is hungry. It's already 2 o'clock this afternoon, he hasn't had lunch yet. Holding the boxed lunch, Lin Ye wolfed it down and pondered in her heart, who should she find to add as a friend later. Today's performance is an anti-Japanese drama. This theme is very common in the world where Lin Ye used to live. Unexpectedly, this genre will still be popular even after traveling. Lin Ye took out her phone and began searching for some keywords online. They are all well-known film and television works from their past lives, and it has been found that many movies and TV dramas do not exist in this world. But even more strangely, some also exist. Even celebrities have many people with the same name. No wonder I saw teacher Zhang Sungwen just now. With a general understanding of the world, Lin Ye decided to act in several more anti-Japanese dramas to expand his popularity. It would be best to rely on the natural advantages of 2 roommates and create a Japanese professional. He made up his mind and left this crew this afternoon. Started wandering among other major production groups. Anti-Japanese female agents, Battle of the Nujiang River, fighting the Japanese together. 3 crew members, Lin Ye has all gone. In the anti-Japanese female spy scene, he played the timid little devil, and several female lead actors were arranged by the director to make Lin Ye's tofu taste good. In the Battle of Nujiang, Lin Ye played the role of a senior lieutenant who fought the nationalist army to the core. The most outrageous thing happened in the crew of Fighting the Devils Together. On this day, Lin Ye came to the production team as usual to start work. The director doesn't want to add Japanese at the moment, and he doesn't want to be such a purebred Japanese. Lin Ye took a moment to take a look at the script and found that her original role had been completely changed, and her opponent's actress roles were all just words of a tiger or wolf. Lin Ye, we have changed our direction in this drama and want to make bolder innovations, so you don't have to play the role of a ghost now. Lin Ye looked at the dialogue book and felt a refusal in her heart. The actress's crotch hides thunder, and she even asked him to reach in and use thunder to blow up the enemy. What kind of fairy plot is this? He finally understood why the director asked him to act. Because other male actors simply don't want to. On the contrary, the actress doesn't mind and is willing to dedicate herself to art. Director, I may not be able to play this role. You should let me play the role of the devil. I am a professional in playing the devil. The director has already said good things, but Lin Ye is so inexperienced that he doesn't need to hold on to it. Stop talking nonsense, I'll increase your salary to 2,000. If you don't play, there will be people playing. Upon hearing this, Lin Ye couldn't get along with money. There's no way, he gave too much. This scene can be regarded as the big brother of the thunderous plot in the anti-Japanese drama. Lin Ye recited her lines and her face began to be applied by the makeup artist. Everything is ready, the director instructed to turn it on. Search her body and see if she's carrying anything. The Japanese chief ordered. The 2 devils began to grope around the actress and couldn't find anything. Where are those dirty hands touching? In broad daylight. Silver Flower has an outstanding appearance, red lips and white teeth, and 3-dimensional facial features, making it a beauty symbol in the drama. At this moment, she looked at the Japanese official and said, "General, why don't you come and search for it yourself?" As he spoke, he deliberately shook the hem of his skirt towards the other party. Let her in. The prison cell was opened, and in addition to the standing Japanese officer, there was also a man sitting on the ground covered in blood. Silver Sister. Lin Ye looked at the person and called out incredulously. Stick! Stick! Yin Mei rushed forward and looked at Lin Ye with a heart-wrenching expression on her face. How did they beat you up like this? I look so heartbroken. This script, this line, is like playing around. The way actors perform is also constrained by their lines, turning into explanatory performances. Lin Ye gently caressed her face and said, Silver Sister, I never expected to see you again. Silver Sister, don't shed tears in front of them, don't cry. Others looked at them both, feeling uneasy all over. Silver Flower held Lin Ye's bloody hand and comforted, I'm happy, I can be with you again. The camera is still running, and the director hasn't called out yet. Lin Ye could only endure vomiting and continue playing. If it weren't for the beautiful appearance of the opposing actress, Lin Ye would really be unable to bear it for a moment. The dog trader was feeling extremely uncomfortable outside the prison cell, so he quickly stopped and said, Don't be petty. Ask him if he is willing to lead the way for the Imperial Army. It's none of your business. Silver Flower angrily cursed. I won't convince him, can he guide you? The trader was also unhappy when he was scolded and replied, Okay. It depends on how you convince him. Silver Flower ignored the trader and turned to Lin Ye affectionately, saying, Brother, do you miss me? Lin Ye. I want to die. Silver Flower immediately released the forest leaves and began to undress and untie herself. Director, how dare you shoot? Can this pass the review? Your TV drama can pass the review, but our online articles cannot pass the review. Can't write more below. When I was outside just now, the little devils insisted on checking. Can I let them touch it? Silver Flower looked at Lin Ye affectionately and said, That place belongs only to you. The actress began to grab Lin Ye's hand. Director, hurry up and shout. This is not popular. Lin Ye's heart was seeking help, but the director didn't make any movement. Silver Sister, you still know me the best. Lin Ye smiled and said, You know I need this the most. So you bring it. Silver Sister, my good wife. Lin Ye and the actress exchanged affectionate glances. I understand what you mean by coming, I understand. The trader and the Japanese officer are both foolish. Do you two need to exaggerate like this? Being able to walk with you in this lifetime is my greatest happiness and joy, worth it. I didn't live in vain. After Lin Ye finished speaking, Silver Flower kissed her. The former is completely confused. Director, you didn't mention this section beforehand. Add money. This must come with extra money. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Home Haunted. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Home Haunted. This is a passionate kissing scene. Lin Ye didn't want to continue kissing anymore and felt like taking the time to say something, I'm really comfortable now. With it, I can negotiate terms with them. Speak up. What conditions? The Japanese officer finally found a gap and interjected. I won't talk to you, your level is too low. Lin Ye sneered, if I want to talk, I have to talk to your emperor. You're not yellow enough, at best, your feces are a bit yellow. This terrible line, Lin Ye said it and felt his face burning with fever. Okay. I promise you the conditions. If I invite His Majesty the Emperor, what conditions do you propose? Lin Ye said, I want to talk to him. If he dares to start a war again, I will. I will spank him. Well said, Stick. Silver flowers in the arms of the forest leaves appear particularly uplifting. As soon as the Japanese heard this, they immediately pulled out their guns and said, You dare to insult Emperor Oshima. I will kill you now. Let you have no children or grandchildren. As a result, both of them ignored him and remained immersed in comfort. Silver girl, have another good time. Lin Ye suddenly pulled out the grenade hidden in Yin Mei's crotch, and Yin Mei quickly pulled the string for him. Then the grenade exploded amidst their laughter. Boom! At this moment, the director finally shouted, "Kaka." Lin Yesong opened up the actress and breathed a sigh of relief. This section is even longer than Bitme's quadruple. Lin Ye swore that no matter how much money he gave in the future, he wouldn't act in such bizarre dramas. The anti-Japanese drama is already shocking enough, you still think it's not innovative enough, and you have to hide thunder in your pants. Lin Ye is not denying the existence of such operations in history, it's just that when such things are photographed, it's another matter. Shameful hero. Lin Ye, with a salary of 2,000 yuan, ran away without even bothering the actress's friend. I earned 2,000 in a day today, and Lin Ye is already satisfied. It's late at night. The beautiful scenery of Hengdian finally blooms at this time. The barbecue on the roadside and the various beautiful women on the street can make Lin Ye's mouth water. But he must go home early because the two Japanese roommates don't have keys to their homes. My home is 15 kilometers away from Hengdian. Lin Ye usually walks, but today he was in a good mood and spent 29 yuan on a taxi. When he arrived at the doorstep, he heard ghosts calling inside, "Sleeping trough." How did they get in without a key? Lin Ye has a bad premonition. He approached to check the door lock and found that it had already broken, and the door frame had fallen off. Is this a special devil entering the house? Yamamoto. You, fairy. Lin, why are you scolding me? Why did you open my house? Murakami Tianai tried to make a comeback and said, "We've been waiting for you all afternoon, and you're really in a hurry to urinate, so we'll have to forcefully enter." I looked at my phone and it ran out of battery and turned off. But who would have thought these two goods would come back so early? Lin Ye was so angry that he vomited blood and said, "You little devils really value hygiene. Don't wait for the end of the month either, move out tonight." He can't bear it anymore, living in the same room as these two top-notch devils. Lin sang, "I'm really sorry. I will compensate you for the cost of repairing the door." Nonsense. Do you still want me to pay to repair the door? Lin sang, "Don't be too irritable. As an actor, you need to learn to control your emotions." Murakami Tano agreed, Yamamoto Daojin is right. Just as Lin Ye finished speaking to control his emotions, these two devils started arguing again. "You don't have to flatter me, you shouldn't have kicked me just now. You should have listened to me and hit my shoulder. Look at what happened to Lin's house. Yamamoto Daojin, you speak too confidently. If it weren't for me kicking it open, you would have wet your pants long ago." Lin Ye couldn't bear it anymore and said, "Baga. Can you two get out of my house now?" The two devils looked surprised. Lin sang, "When did you learn Japanese? Surprisingly speaking so standard." Lin Ye didn't explain anything to them, but asked them to get out of here quickly. Two devils, who stayed with him for over 2 months, said they came to travel and left at the end of this month. It's already the end of the month now, and these two devils are here to carry their luggage today. Lin sang, "We are leaving Huaxia and going back to our hometown. Thank you for your tolerance and understanding these days. Please take care of yourself. Wishing you a thriving career as an actor." Lin Ye nodded, hoping that they would leave quickly so that he could go out early and find a new roommate. Otherwise, when he paid the rent next month, he would have to bear the rent for such a large house alone. "I really can't afford it." Previously, Lin Ye had 2 roommates who were also actors. But they didn't stick to it. They went back to their hometown to farm. He has been wandering in Hengdian for the past 2.5 years, and I don't know how many roommates he has endured to death. After the two devils left, Lin Ye immediately made a joint rental notice on the computer. Prepare to go to the printing shop tomorrow to print it out and paste it around the community. After finishing these, Lin Ye will wash and sleep. The next morning, he set off for Hengdian Cinema, preparing to start the next day's work. After experiencing such a shocking incident yesterday, Lin Ye swore that he would never want to play anti-Japanese dramas again. I had been running around in various TV groups, and now it's very popular to shoot this. All morning, Lin Ye didn't receive any plays. Am I really just playing the role of the devil's fate? Lin Ye was a bit skeptical of evil, but couldn't resist the low mood of having gained nothing all morning. Forget it, just play the devil, as long as the script is not too outrageous. Lin Ye, who had completely compromised, began the interview. Quickly, he found a very desirable crew. Bright sword. Isn't this the most classic anti-Japanese theme in my past life? After more than a decade of popularity, it still has its second creation and ghostly beast on major video platforms, which is simply enduring. Lin Ye has decided to act this. He approached and inquired, and the production team happened to be recruiting a Japanese-speaking lieutenant. Moreover, the requirements are very high. This colonel's character has half the lines of a play. Each one requires a mirror to the end, it cannot get stuck. The production team spent over half a month searching for an actor who could speak Japanese. There's really no other choice but to film other scenes first. Hello, I would like to audition for the role of Yamamoto. Lin Ye said sincerely. Yamamoto. The deputy director sat on the plastic chair, with a hint of doubt on his face. He quickly searched through the script and biographies of the characters in his hand. Can you speak Japanese? Yes. How much will it be? Plenary session. The deputy director fell silent. He obviously doesn't believe it. Damn it, some actors are like this. Regardless of anything else, if you ask him if he knows, he always says he does. I don't know what to do when I join the group, I don't know, I'm not sure. So when faced with Lin Ye, who was full of confidence, the deputy director unconsciously felt a sense of disgust. Another one came to cause trouble. The deputy director rolled his eyes and said, "Let's go, you can't play this role. I can speak Japanese, really." Lin Ye was so anxious that he directly communicated with him in Japanese. Quizly output. That seems to be the language from my hometown, sleeping trough. You didn't scare me, did you? The deputy director's face was full of shock. It was the first time he heard a Chinese speaking Japanese like his mother tongue. Come with me. The deputy director lifted the shed and went in. Then he took out Fairy Yamamoto's dialogue book and said to Lin Ye, "Come on, you read this." Lin Ye immediately began, "You do know her, I think you must be Li Yunlong's troops." Japanese version, end of this chapter. Chapter 4. When encountering enemies, one must shine their sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. When encountering enemies, one must shine their sword. Indeed, it is Mr. Li Yunlong. The Zhao family's desire to flee after World War I, leaving behind women, children, and elderly people, may not be in line with the purpose of your army. I, Yamamoto Ichiki, cherish the fragrance and cherish the jade. I have brought your wife back for you. How about that? Let's discuss some terms. Okay, it's you. The deputy director is so excited that it's really difficult to find someone who can speak Japanese. Their entire production team has a headache to death, they almost went to the island country to catch a devil. Now, with Lin Ye, this fake devil, it's a big deal to save the elderly. You don't need to audition anymore. Leave me a phone number and come directly tomorrow morning. Lin Ye clenched his fist in his heart and said, "Thank you, deputy director." He took on another job and felt incredibly happy. Because the lines of Ichiki Yamamoto are 7 or 8 pages long. The number of scenes is considered the highest among all the sergeants. And it's still playing against the veteran actor Li Yubing, it's really not too satisfying. Lin Ye has started looking forward to tomorrow's work. The next day, Lin Ye arrived on time on the set and began speaking with other actors. This scene is the battle in which Li Yunlong attacked Pingan County. Yamamoto Ichiki attacked the village at night, killing all the elderly and children, and then kidnapped Li Yunlong's wife Xiuqin. In order to avenge the soldiers and villagers, Li Yunlong fired at his wife. This plot can be considered one of the famous scenes of Liangjian, and Lin Ye is very familiar with it. So when it comes to dialogue, it is also particularly proficient. Not only is one proficient in their own lines, but also their opponent's lines are clear, so both the rhythm and inner emotions of the lines make the opposing actor very comfortable. Li Yubing said, "Hey, you look young and have a good command of lines." Faced with the praise of his seniors, Lin Ye was greatly impressed and said, "Teacher Li has praised me. Isn't that what an actor should have? That Xiuqin, these 2 sentences from you are not emotional enough. You need to be a little more excited. It's okay if you don't speak clearly, I'm afraid you'll say them exactly." Teacher Li Yubing said to the little girl next to him. This girl is the actor who plays Xiuqin. Lin Ye is very familiar with her, but she is not the actress who played Xiuqin in the original work. "Okay, Teacher Li, I'll try again." The little girl nodded and immediately interpreted her lines in a different way. "Well said. Captain. I'm Xiuqin, it's worth it for so many little devils. Hey, I feel right this time." Teacher Li clapped his hands and said to the director, "All right, director, let's turn on the power." "Okay, turn it on." Actors take their positions and prepare to start. Lin Ye returned to his own cannon tower and stood with another Japanese captain on both sides, with bound Xiuqin sandwiched between them. Act 6, Scene 9, First Mirror Attack on Ikexen in Pinyin County. As soon as the words of the venue were spoken, the board was immediately struck. 8th Road downstairs, stop fighting. Look upstairs, do you know this woman? Xiao Ri opened his mouth and shouted. The 8th route on the opposite side immediately stopped attacking. Lin Ye transformed into a colonel, with a more lewd aura than yesterday. "You do know her, I think you must be Li Yunlong's troops." "Li Yunlong. Yamamoto. What the hell are you, a soldier? What kind of article are you using a woman for?" Lin Ye. "Indeed, it is Mr. Li Yunlong." The Zhao family's desire to flee after World War I, leaving behind women, children, and elderly people, may not be in line with the purpose of your army. I, Yamamoto Ichiki, cherish the fragrance and cherish the jade. I have brought your wife back for you. How about that? Let's discuss some terms. Lao Li, we can negotiate terms. Ask your people to put down their weapons and get out of it. I promise not to kill anyone. Lin Ye. Mr. Li, since 1937, you have seen several islands that voluntarily surrendered themselves. The 2 of them entered the world in the script one after another, and their emotions began to rise. What the hell are you talking about? Li Yunlong shouted at the soldiers, "Shoot me." With such a roar, all the soldiers were ready to move. But they know that the leader is clearly irrational now. The woman on the opposite side of the cannon building is Sister Xiuqin, the leader's wife. How can we fire the gun? Watching 8th Route hesitate, Lin Ye took advantage of the heat and said, "Mr. Li, your subordinates can't resist loneliness. I know there are more than one sniper aiming at my head at this moment. Please advise them to put away their guns. If my head is pierced, who will protect your woman?" Ha ha ha. Damn it. Li Yunlong is so angry that his teeth itch. When I just finished my lines, your kid's tone and expression weren't that cheap, right? Lin Ye. Mr. Li, don't be so ruthless. Do you need your own woman to die? So I suggest that both sides cease fire for 15 minutes before discussing, otherwise I will no longer protect the safety of your woman. Don't do that kind of thing. We both know that the outcome of a battle can be determined in just 1 minute. I, Li Yunlong, would never trade my soldier's life for his wife. Well said. Captain. Above the turret, Xiuqin stood next to Lin Ye and shouted loudly. I'll show off one, it's worth it for so many little devils. Captain. Fire. Revenge the soldiers of the independent regiment. Revenge the hundreds of blind dates sacrificed by the Zhao family. Xiaochao didn't shed a single tear, but her screams at the top of her lungs made all the new soldiers' hearts ache. Li Yunlong fell silent. He didn't expect that Xiaochao would have this idea of living towards death. Li Yunlong. You're firing. Li Yunlong can't stand it anymore. He doesn't want to grind around in front of soldiers, nor does he want to be submissive in front of his wife, let alone let Yamamoto Ichiki take advantage of him. He shouted loudly. Fire. Don't fire. Captain, don't fire. Let me take my brothers to charge again. The monk knows Lao Li the best. He wants to fight for it again. If Sister Xiaochao dies, half of the leader's life will be lost, Li Yunlong. You shoot. I was born your own person. Death is your ghost. Remember. I, Xiaochao, will marry you again in my next life. You're going to shoot. Don't make me look down on you. Hurry up and shoot. Damn it, shoot. Lin Ye suddenly drew his knife, he couldn't let this woman's beep anymore. Old Li shouted in despair, shoot. This roar is louder than any shell exploding. Click. The director tearfully wiped the corners of his eyes. One pass, one pass. That's great. Teacher Li. Xiaochao acted well, is this really your first time acting? The girl who played Xiaochao nodded and said, before it was all group acting, this was my first character with lines. Oh, good, good. Yamamoto. The director is chatting here, and there's a loud shout coming from below the turret. I must have peeled your skin today. I saw Teacher Li Yubing angrily running up to the gun tower, holding a burning stick in his hand. Everyone immediately surrounded when they saw something was wrong. Teacher Li, please don't do this. Acting is acting, it's fake. Xiaochao is not dead, your wife is not dead. Teacher Li Yobing's eyes were staring like Kong Kong, and a few people couldn't stop him at all. I don't care. I'm going to kill him today. Lin Ye was completely bewildered. What did I do wrong? Isn't it just acting a bit like it? There's no need to take action, right? You guys get me started. The director and deputy director advised together. Teacher Li, come on, Lin Ye is not a real devil. Why do you need to? It's not good to get too deep into the play, Teacher Li. Calm down. Calm down. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Acting too like to be beaten. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Acting too like to be beaten. Faced with everyone's persuasion, Teacher Li Yobing's emotions gradually calmed down. He also knows that this is acting. Lin Ye is not a real devil either, he is just a junior. Being so impulsive is actually losing the dignity of the old actors. Sorry, I'm easily confused. Don't mind, Xiaolin. Lin Ye shook his head wildly and said, do you mind? Can Teacher Li put down the stick now? Li Yubing smiled and flicked the torch aside. Sorry, Xiaolin, don't take it to heart. No, can I add you on WeChat, Teacher Li? Lin Ye inserted a needle into a stitch. WeChat. I don't have that thing, is a phone number okay? It's also possible. Lin Ye doesn't care, as long as you can add friends, whether it's WeChat friends or contacts friends. So, leaving each other's contact information can also be considered as not fighting, not knowing. Ding, congratulations host, Entertainment Celebrity Network +1. Li Yubing is a veteran of the powerful faction, and you now have all the experiences and acting skills of his career. Next, there are still a few scenes that need to be filmed. Lin Ye finished filming all the scenes of Sanbenimu, and was even pulled to play various ghosts and bandits. This crew is really poor. Not only does Lin Ye need to make guest appearances in various group performances, but even the lead actor, teacher Li Yubing, also needs to make a guest appearance in The Bandits. For example, in the scene where the monk was killed, Li Yunlong was also involved. Monk. You go take that old man. Li Yunlong sat on the Kong and suddenly realized that the monk had already died. He no longer has this narrow-minded security guard around him. Outside the camera, the monk was crossing his legs and eating melon seeds, laughing happily. Throughout the day, Lin Ye played more roles than he did in a month. However, by the time he finished work, Lin Ye also received a generous salary. Because there is no contract signed, it can only be considered as compensation, not a piece of compensation. The total is 1,300 yuan. Yamamoto's character costs 500 yuan, while the other little Luo characters cost 50 yuan. Lin Ye made a total of 16 guest appearances. Lin Ye, how much did you earn by making so many cameo appearances? A group performance girl suddenly ran over and asked happily. 13,000, what about you? She cannot channel, ah. You're only 13,000. My movie pay is all 500 yuan, why are you only 13 yuan? You're clearly better than me. Lin Ye pondered for a moment before asking, you should have signed the contract, right? Well, I have a contract. That's normal. I was selected by the director on a temporary basis and can be considered a temporary worker, but I earn more than running to other production teams. You really don't care. The girl admired it. She, like Lin Ye, is a group performer in Hengdian, and both of them are in Wang Tu's WeChat group. My name is Zhao Liying, and Lin Ye is quite familiar with him. Ding Lingling, the phone in Lin Ye's pocket suddenly rang, and upon taking it out, it was an unfamiliar number. Hello, who is it? Is it Mr. Lin? Lin Ye instantly realized that when he left this morning, he went to a printing shop and posted a shared rental advertisement around the community. Oh, yes, it's me. Do you want to rent together? On the other end of the phone, there was a man who spoke in a polite tone. That's right, I want to rent together, but I want to talk about the price again. Lin Ye declined and said, the price is already the cheapest in the entire Hengdian store, we can't go any lower. Don't rush to refuse yet. We are 2 people, so you can save time and find another tenant. 2 people. He can indeed save a lot of trouble, but with the lessons learned from 2 Japanese roommates, Lin Ye still has a good eye for it. What do you 2 do at work? What time do you go home every day? What time do you rest? My girlfriend and I both work in Hengdian's clothing and makeup industry. Let's go back around 10 p.m. tonight, and we won't be sure when to rest. Wait. You and your girlfriend. Lin Ye suddenly interrupted him. Well, the 2 of us will only occupy one of your rooms. This transaction is so cost-effective, so I want to talk to you about rent again. That's not necessary, I'm not looking for couples to rent together. Lin Ye finished speaking and hung up the phone directly. Although his 3-bedroom and 1 living room are not small, he knows how poor the sound insulation is. The 2 devils have already made him want to die, and now there are 2 more little lovers, so he will not have to lose his nerve in the future. Are you looking for a roommate to share? When I called earlier, Zhao Liying was right beside me, so I heard some. Where is the house? Is it far or not? Lin Ye replied, in Qingtian district. What about the suburbs? Lin Ye nodded and said, it's about 15 kilometers away from here. What do you think of me? Lin Ye glanced at her and then nodded, saying, it's pretty good. I have the talent of being a movie queen. Oh my, I'm asking about sharing a room with you. Shared rental. Yeah, aren't you looking for a roommate to share a room with? Zhao Liying said seriously, I'm currently looking for a house to live in, and I'll be developing in Hengdian in the future. If Senior Lin Ye doesn't mind, I'll help you share the rent. Lin Ye obviously didn't expect that Zhao Liying would want to share the apartment with her. Are you sure you want to live with me? That's the suburbs. I can't afford to live in such a good place at my current economic level. Lin Ye asked, do you have a boyfriend? No. That's great. Ah. Zhao Liying suddenly felt something was wrong. I mean it would be great if there were no couples to disturb us. As you know, as actors, our schedules are inherently irregular. If we can't get a good night's sleep after going back, it would be too torturous. That's the reason, so you agreed. Of course I agree, but let's talk about it first. The rent, utilities, and water will be split equally between the two. No problem, when will you go home and take me to take a look first? Lin Ye looked at the sky and now it's already dark. Let's go back now. I have looked at the house and Zhao Liying thinks there is no problem. She can move in a few days. Just before leaving, Zhao Liying hesitated and said, why is this door so bad? Oh, my ex-roommate did it, they have mania. Lin Ye explained casually. Zhao Liying believed it to be true and said, no wonder you are so cautious when looking for roommates. I will go fix the door and then replace the lock with 2 keys. Well, good. After Zhao Liying left, Lin Ye collapsed directly on the sofa in the living room. Oh my, don't worry about the rent. Acting is becoming more and more convenient. These little days, can't we take off? Lin Ye secretly made up her mind to make a name for herself in Hengdian. In the future, live in a big villa and buy a sea view house. Eat seafood and beer. 3 months have passed in a blink of an eye. More than a dozen anti-Japanese dramas have been launched in China, triggering an unprecedented anti-Japanese China chic. Surprisingly, countless netizens are discussing the frequent appearance of a supporting actor in these dramas. The police uncle checked him, this guy doesn't seem to be playing. This is not a performance, it's just a true performance, it's definitely Colonel Benzwa. Strictly investigate the 3 generations of ancestors. His family must have had traitors before. Can you tell me the address, sir? My grandfather wants to greet your whole family. The taste is too strong. Nowadays, technology is really advanced. Even through the screen, I can get so angry that it hurts my head. When discussing, fighting the devils together. This kind of dialogue is too. I'll just serve the screenwriter. Colonel, I didn't expect you to be a fearless self-destructor. The actress sacrificed so much that she was touched by this devil up and down. I just want to ask, can a grenade still make a sound when it gets wet? I thought it was a round grenade, but it turned out to be long. When discussing, bright sword. Yamamoto Ichiki has so many lines, how did he learn them? No, is this actor from a university in an island country? How can Japanese be so standard? I heard that teacher Li Yubing couldn't hold back on set and beat up this Sergeant Ha. The acting skills are really amazing. What kind of person does it look like? End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Shared roommate Zhao Liying. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Shared roommate Zhao Liying. Hengdian, suburban. Renting the house. Lin Ye was happy when her topic suddenly appeared on the internet. After nearly 3 years of struggling in the entertainment industry, I finally became a little popular. However, I have been stuck several times when going out these past few days and almost got beaten again. Lin Ye gradually realized that his acting skills had become deeply ingrained in people's hearts, and the audience's impression of him was that of a little devil who had suffered countless cuts and cuts. This won't work. What are actors most afraid of? It's just a stereotype. Taking the previous life's love apartment as an example, the lead actors Xixi and Sunnyjo, are they not from a professional background? As a result, the other works they starred in were completely stunned. The audience laughs at them as soon as they see them, it's too easy to get into the play. Lin Ye has a clear career plan for herself. He had already secretly pondered in his heart that if he took on a script again, he must break away from the anti-Japanese theme. Although he had been taking on anti-Japanese dramas for the past few months, it was only for the sake of vitality. Now that she has a deposit of less than 10,000 yuan, it's time for Lin Ye to consider trying her luck with other film crews. So early end of work. Zhao Liying opened the door and entered the room. When she saw Lin Ye sitting on the sofa, she made a sound and asked. I'm not alive today. Recently, there have been fewer anti-Japanese themes. No, I don't want to take on this kind of script anymore. Why? You're a professional Japanese now. The dragon head in the dragon set. Zhao Liying doesn't quite understand Lin Ye's approach. Why didn't she take on such a popular and profitable job? Lin Ye sincerely said, actors should have certain requirements for the roles and stories they play. What do you mean, are you considering transformation? Zhao Liying has undergone many changes in the past 3 months. She has taken on several historical TV dramas with her outstanding appearance, but all of them are maids, palace maids, and group roles that are difficult to even show their faces. She doesn't do as well as Lin Ye. Well, I'm thinking that I must play a unique role in my next play. This is Lin Ye's true inner thoughts. His current situation is equivalent to a master of unparalleled martial arts, still staying in the beginner's village to brush monsters. People walk higher and water flows lower. In the past, it was necessary to lack acting skills and connections. But now Lin Ye is different. We need to have a systematic acting skills and a systematic network of people. Isn't playing anything easy to control. But those directors and group leaders only let him play the devil. This is so special. Zhao Liying understood Lin Ye's thoughts and encouraged, I believe you can do it. After 3 months of interaction, the two developed a unique, revolutionary friendship. Lin Ye witnessed her efforts and also witnessed her growth. The two of them can also be said to sympathize with each other. Let's have dinner first. I made chili fried meat. Since Lin Ye gained the life experience of a big shot, even his cooking skills have improved. However, the main reason is that the takeout is not delicious and the food outside is too expensive. How fragrant. Zhao Liying naturally pulled out a small stool and sat opposite Lin Ye. A plate of chili fried meat, a bowl of rice for each person, dried to the point where there is not a single grain left. After being full of alcohol and food, the two of them sat on the sofa playing with their respective phones, and neither of them took the initiative to wash the dishes. Lin Ye glanced at Zhao Liying and couldn't help but say, after finishing eating, just wipe your mouth and sit on the sofa. Ah! Did you ask me to wash the dishes again? Lin Ye couldn't stand it at all and said, did you just have a long mouth while eating? Zhao Liying had no choice but to put down her phone and stand up from the sofa to tidy up the dishes. At 8 p.m., the Hendian set. The film crew of Burning Sun. This is a police and bandit film, and now the entire production team is nearing completion, but it has been blocked by the censorship department of the Radio and Television Bureau due to its excessive scale. The director frowned and discussed countermeasures with the screenwriter. Director Zhao, this movie is almost finished. How could the Radio and Television Bureau suddenly increase its review efforts? I don't know either, there are only 2 options now. What's the solution? The screenwriter is a bit overwhelmed. Qiao Dao said helplessly, delete the duration. How can this work? The screenwriter shook his head. If 1 or half an hour is deleted from a 3-hour movie, it would be a devastating blow to the work. Moreover, they are still shooting police and bandit themes, and the plot and logic are of utmost importance. The plot is all intertwined, and without any segment, the audience will be left in a daze. Let them delete it, why not remake it? What's another way? The screenwriter asked director Qiao Baoping. That's all you have to do is work hard to come up with a new ending, let's make up for it. This method is not much better than the previous one. And for screenwriters, rewriting the ending is not a small change. If the changes are not made well, the entire movie will be a complete mess. This is a bit difficult. Director Qiao, please let me think about it carefully. Qiao Baoping knew that it was a bit difficult for the screenwriter. But there's no way, as the radio and television review has already stated, although the three main characters of this movie ultimately died, the story told in the film makes people feel sorry for them. Is it the central idea conveyed by the movie that the audience feels sorry for the criminals? That values are really crooked to the sky. Either the entire story is remade or the ending is modified. This is the original words of the person in charge of the Radio and Television Bureau. After a full 5 hours of discussion, the director and screenwriter finally decided to find a real culprit to bear the sins of his three main characters. So for now, not only do we need to call back the actors who have already finished filming, but we also need to find a more ruthless actor to take the blame on the main actors. Who will be this scapegoat? Qiao Baoping's mind was filled with numerous villainous professionals, but they all felt it was inappropriate. These people either don't fit the story atmosphere of this movie, or they are being too harsh. Help me find an actor with a sinister face and an average physique. He must be ordinary, the kind that doesn't stand out in the crowd at all. Director Qiao put aside his words and hurriedly left. He also needs to go to the Radio and Television Bureau to see if the proposed plan to modify the outcome is feasible. At 1 a.m., the Radio and Television Bureau confirmed the crew's plan. The entire crew breathed a sigh of relief. So, the filming of The Burning Sun, that had already started 6 months ago and the lead actors had gradually finished filming a week ago, restarted. Hey, Lao Wang, I'm looking for you for something. Aren't you a lot of group performances? Find a few to audition for. Old Wang on the other end of the phone yawned and said, when do you need it? I need it now, the faster the better. Now. Where can I get you someone now? Lao Wang looked at the time and it's already 1:30 in the morning. Why is it so urgent? The deputy director explained the situation of their production team to Lao Wang, who immediately understood the urgency of the situation. Okay, then I'll find you a few. What kind of ones do you want? Murderers. Okay, wait for my message. Hanging up the phone, Lao Wang immediately posted a message in his WeChat group called Group Performance Jianghu. Buzzing at the same time, Lin Ye's phone vibrated. Lin Ye was about to go to bed, but couldn't help but pick up his phone and check. It was Wang Tu who sent a message in the WeChat group. What scenes have been filming recently? Lin Ye clicked on the group message in a daze and started browsing. The crew of The Burning Sun is recruiting roles. Murderer, fish cutlery worker, and nurse. Interested parties leave a message now and immediately arrange an audition. Pay attention now. At this moment, the scorching sun burns the heart. In Lin Ye's chaotic mind, a classic crime-themed movie from his past life emerged. He looked through the cast list with uncertainty. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Best Actor Friend Deng Xiaochao. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 8. Experiential Horror. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Experiential Horror. During the meal, Lin Ye chatted with the two movie stars while picking up a conversation. After chatting, it was learned that Deng Xiaochao and Duanihong went to Xiamen 3 months in advance to experience life before the movie started filming. Deng Xiaochao went to experience the work of an auxiliary police officer, living every day in the dormitory, cafeteria, and police station. Duanihong is the same, but he is a police officer sitting in the office. But when there are cases to handle, he goes through life and death like the police. In order to better fit the character, Deng Xiaochao wore a set of clothes that remained unchanged until the end of the season. A black jacket, wrinkled jeans, and a pure black T-shirt underneath. Even the underwear was picked for 5 yuan from the street vendor. I tried to understand him, get close to him, until I truly saw him. When Deng Xiaochao spoke, his tone was the same as Xian Xiaofeng in the play, which was completely different from his usual image on variety shows. Is this the experiential style? Too ruthless. Directly throw yourself into the character's life, eat and live with him, and experience the other person's life. Lin Ye has really learned a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last scene, and it's really over. Xiao Dao felt heartbroken and said. Duanihong nodded and prepared to enter the play. Deng Xiaochao was tied up on the injection table, with no joy in his eyes, about to be killed, only fear of death. The last nurse hired by the production team was an anesthesiologist from a regular hospital. The previous shots were all injected with glucose. At first, the director disagreed, but it was Deng Xiaochao's strong demand to come true. Ask the anesthesiologist to directly administer anesthesia to him, and he wants to truly experience the dying feeling of Experiential. For safety reasons, the efficacy of the anesthetic is specially modulated, and a person can wake up in 15 minutes. The 25th scene, second act, and third item of The Burning Sun, action. With a crisp thud, the heart recorder next to Deng Xiaochao began to beat in order to ponder over the big scene of the injection of death penalty. Deng Xiaochao has not closed his eyes since yesterday. He only took 2 or 3 bites of the food Lin Ye ordered just now. He couldn't understand or appreciate the mentality of a death row inmate before the last minute. Injecting death penalty is a process of a vibrant life jumping from life to complete silence. How is he going to act? Only he knows how difficult this scene is. He went to seek guidance from Xiao Dao more than once and also gained many skills that needed to be digested. But this doesn't make him feel like a death row criminal in a short period of time. Or the feeling of acting, it's not what he wants. I always feel like something's missing. So he just asked the anesthesiologist to give him anesthesia, hoping to use the depression of consciousness to bring the actors and characters infinitely closer. He truly deserves to be a drama maniac. Only choose the wrong name, not the wrong nickname. Chao Gu, your arm has run out of space to puncture. The little girl looked at Deng Xiaochao with some heartache. It's okay. Put a different arm on it, this one. Brand new. Deng Xiaochao turned his head to the other side and moved his left arm. Let's start over. The 25th scene, second act, and fourth item of The Burning Sun, action. The little girl had tears in her eyes and began to apply medicine, tie pulse bands, and inject needles finally. I got the right blood vessel punctured this time. The anesthesia for the internship was successfully infused into Xiaofeng's vein through a needle. Xiaofeng only felt a chill coming from his left arm, and his gaze stopped looking at the needle. He took a deep breath and waited quietly for the arrival of death. 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I feel a bit dizzy. 1 minute, so sleepy. Gradually. Xiaofeng felt that breathing needed the help of independent consciousness. Death has arrived. He tried to move his legs and was still able to move, but it was no longer as he pleased. 1.5 My legs are numb, but my consciousness is still there. Xiaofeng saw the incandescent lamp on the ceiling, emitting tempting light. His left eye has completely closed and his consciousness is gradually dissipating. A few seconds later, the long-forgotten desire for survival suddenly struck. Xiaofeng's expression was a bit painful, but he could only shake his head slightly with all his strength. He is breathing greedily. As if taking something away. Even if it's just a little oxygen. Outside the glass of the execution room, Iguchi-chan looked at everything with tears in her eyes. As a professional actor, Duanihong has already been on stage. The one who is about to receive the death penalty is his own brother who went through life and death, and also the murderer whom he pursued for 7 years. His heart is extremely complex. There is sadness, regret, and happiness for Xiaofeng. At the same time he couldn't bear to turn his head away and didn't want to see this scene with his own eyes. As a police officer, he had to face the facts directly. Just this momentary tug of ice showcased the power of the film emperor. Gu Xia, the younger sister next to Gu Chun, was no longer as restrained as he was. She held on to her brother Yi Gu Chun's arm and kept sobbing, with old tears still drying up and new tears slipping down. 3 shots, one aimed at Teacher Duan and Teacher Wang. The other 2 shots, as close and far shots, continuously hit the faces of Deng Xiaochao and Guo Tao. All the actors didn't have a single line in the entire studio, only the dying reaction of teacher Deng Xiaochao and the psychological reaction of others. Lin Ye watched them all the way, secretly shocked in her heart. Undoubtedly, it is a great production with powerful actors. This kind of drama, even if he takes on 100 anti-Japanese dramas, he can't match it. 2.5 Xin Xiaofeng's head occasionally slammed fiercely against the iron bed beneath him, making a clicking sound. In the camera, he has lost his facial expression management, sometimes dull, sometimes painful, sometimes laughing. The gaze in both eyes has solidified, and the head has completely stopped moving. Xin Xiaofeng couldn't see or hear anything, he could only feel his heartbeat becoming increasingly weak. Breathing becomes extremely difficult. 3 minutes as the air in his lungs was expelled for the last time. Xin Xiaofeng's throat, due to a natural physiological reaction, made a sucking motion similar to stopping breathing. The curve on the electric meter has stretched into a desperate straight line. Click. Chao Dao, who had been holding his emotions tightly, suddenly burst into tears. He ran to Deng Xiaochao's side and shook hard. "Brother Chao, don't die. Brother Chao, don't die." If it weren't for his clamor, Lin Ye really felt that Chao Gu was already dead. Is this the ending after the modification? Lin Ye is a bit worried. It seems that the scale is a bit larger. He has watched this film in his past life, and the shot of injection and death penalty only lasts for a few seconds. However, what they are shooting now is a full 3 minutes with the careful care of the medical staff. Brother Chao finally woke up half an hour later. "There's nothing wrong with me, it's just that I didn't eat for a whole day, which resulted in an extra 15 minutes of anesthesia than expected." "Chao, you scared them all crazy." Teacher Duani Hong joked and said. But Deng Xiaochao ignored him. Lin Ye looked at Chao Ji's face, as if it was his first time on earth. Is this awakened person Chao Gu or Xin Xiaofeng? The experiential style is truly terrifying. Lin Ye said inwardly. Thinking of playing the real culprit later, can we also use the experiential talent of Super Brother to complete it? End of this chapter. Chapter 9. The Scorching Sun Heaps the Heart. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. The Scorching Sun Heaps the Heart. I stayed on the Scorching Sun set for 2 whole days. Lin Ye finally received the scene he filmed. In a 1-minute dialogue, Lin Ye utilized his experiential talent to integrate himself into the script. He seemed to be in the midst of the massacre in Longxi. In the interrogation room, a man with an ordinary appearance sat lazily on the interrogation chair. He was wearing an orange T-dot shirt with letter prints on it, and his hands were shackled, but it still didn't affect his grip as he crossed his palms. The dim light hit him, and his gloomy face turned slightly green from the light, making him look like a bad person. "The one who lost money found me and said, if I get the money back, give me 20%. After speaking, he twisted his head and opened his mouth, saying, I agreed. Then I arrived at Suan. I'll call Adeo and say, I'm here. His tone of voice was like drinking and chatting with friends, boasting about his past flirtatious deeds. After Adao heard this, he came to find me. I didn't expect to bring this. Xin Xiaofeng and Chen Bijue, they both came to play with him. Outside the interrogation room, police officer Harumi Igu listened and watched word by word, afraid of missing something. Later on, we arrived at the villa. I'll just follow the house to find it. I've been searching for a long time but haven't found it yet. Lin Ye frowned, as if still feeling a bit angry about what happened back then. As soon as I went upstairs, I saw a woman lying on the ground. Xin Xiaofeng called this girl dead. Lin Ye leaned slightly forward, as if condemning Xin Xiaofeng's actions. Really? It's really like dying. His tone also emphasized on that word. Iguchi-chan outside the interrogation room felt like needles and felt uncomfortable all over. This old man and mother. Just shout and scream. There's no way, just kill them. One of the police officers asked, who did it? Lin Ye had no inner turmoil and said, I. The police officer continued to ask, what will happen afterwards? Lin Ye recalled, we still want to leave, we can't leave. I happen to see that wooden square next to the wall. I'll just use that to fight. Officer. Who was able to move it? Lin Yesong opened his crossed hands and flipped them up and down to show himself. Actually, none of them can do it, they dare not take action. Igu-chun was outside the interrogation room, his whole face twitching and the corners of his mouth kept opening and closing. Because the person in front of us was the real culprit of the massacre that year. And Xin Xiaofeng and the three of them, purely for the sake of redemption and willingness to be executed, Lin Ye continued to explain. Later, when we arrived at the reservoir, I said, I am now. No matter who helped anyone with this thing. In the future, you must listen to me. Whatever I ask you to do, you must do it. Lin Ye's sitting posture became increasingly arrogant, almost reaching the side of the chair. Otherwise, my help would be in vain. Why don't you listen to me? Don't blame me, my hands are tough. Lin Ye became more and more enthusiastic as he spoke, did you just be scared like that and act on me? I think Goeri's hand is not weak at all. They must think that I was killed by him. Officer. Did you not find them later? Lin Ye smiled at the police officer. Smile insidiously. Quickly shaking his head a few times and jokingly saying, I won't find it. Later on, I also figured it out. You said, didn't you? Someone who killed a big family, right? It must be a big deal. With a hint of guidance, he began teaching the police to reason, it's good to die. Well. If this thing happens, it's good to die. No one is definitely looking for me. Do you think so? He raised his face high and asked the police officer through his nostrils. Click. The director shouted to stop. It's over. The young man's acting skills are quite solid. Director Zhao praised repeatedly. Even the screenwriter on the side praised, I have a great rhythm control. I never expected you to act like this when I wrote it. Thank you director, thank you screenwriter. Lin Ye felt that he had already restrained a lot. Director Zhao repeatedly watched this one, and the more he read it, the more he liked it. He was still thinking that if the scapegoat he brought in didn't perform well, the modified ending would have no convincing power, and the audience would definitely not buy it. Now this idea is completely gone. Lin Ye's performance directly confirmed that he was the real culprit of the massacre. Even the actor Duan Hong outside the interrogation room walked in and said, Lin Ye, who did you learn this performance from? Lin Ye was asked for a moment. Of course, this is stealing from you and Brother Zhao. But that's not the way to say it, so Lin Ye had to lie and say, I've been watching you guys act wildly on the set these past few days, and I've secretly learned a few moves. Having talent. Duan Hong commented bluntly. Thank you, Teacher Duan, for your recognition. I hope to have more opportunities to cooperate in the future. Well, I'm also eager to have more communication and interaction with you young people. After finishing the scene, everyone began to finish work and return home. 3 months later, Heartbreaking Sun will be released with a bang. Breaking the historical box office record for crime films. 2 leading actors won the Golden Horse Best Actor Award. There are numerous introductions on the internet. Most netizens are cheering for the 2 Best Actor winners, but there are also sharp-eyed netizens who have discovered something remarkable. Is this murderer played by that lieutenant? Sleeping trough. I can't see it at all. Colonel, it's really amazing. The murderer also acted like this. Mom, has this person really killed anyone? The look in my eyes is so scary, it scared all my children to tears. Can murderers come and act in movies now? Police uncle, come and take care of it. They not only criticized Lin Ye online, but also in reality. Walking in the vegetable market, the old men and women at the stalls saw Lin Ye coming to buy vegetables, and their faces showed fear one after another. I've never seen you before. The murderer on the news. Call the police quickly and catch him. The woman who passed by was so frightened that she quickly retreated 3 meters and hurriedly called out, "This person killed a large family," and surprisingly ran out of the police station again. Call the police quickly. The reason for this kind of black dragon is that after the movie is released, the audience has a deep memory of this period, and after a period of time, it is easy to confuse the memory, mistakenly remembering the scenes in the movie. In the CD City News, Lin Ye crazily explained that he was an actor. That's not news either, it's the promotional video of the movie that cut him in. But the passers-by didn't believe it, so they just beat up the demons and spirits. Wait for the police to come and investigate before resolving the misunderstanding. Lin Ye, right. Yes, Uncle Police. I have watched your movie and your performance is really impressive. Thank you, thank you. I advise you to stay out less during this period. If it weren't for your innocence, I almost thought you were some fugitive killer just now. Not so much, right? Lin Ye really appreciates it. Alright, in the future, Liying will also have to come and buy groceries. End of this chapter. 10. Chapter 10 New Drama, Beijing Sea Racing, sincerely invites Lin Ye to participate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 New Drama, Beijing Sea Racing, sincerely invites Lin Ye to participate. After the film was released and won awards, the popularity continued, and director Xiao Baoping and the leading actors were frantically interviewed by the media during this period. When it comes to actor casting, director Xiao Baoping told the media. Xiao Gu was originally supposed to play a Guqi Chun, but for some reason he played Xin Xiaofeng. Teacher Duan also took a liking to Xin Xiaofeng, but I think his iron eyes should go and play the role of Detective Yi Gu Chun. The media reporter immediately asked, some netizens want to ask, is the murderer who appears at the end of the film the real culprit? The rumor is that it was not approved by the Broadcasting and Television Bureau, and the ending of the film was changed by you and the screenwriter. Is this rumor true? I'm not quite sure about this, I'm only responsible for directing. You can ask the screenwriter about the writing. The Scorching Sun received a huge response, and as one of the participants, Lin Ye also received various congratulations from the audience. Among them, there are those he knows as well as those he doesn't. A rundown director who achieved nothing said, "Why do you act in groups with such acting skills? Come to me and get you a big role." A group leader who once belittled Lin Ye said, "Lin Ye, I had always been optimistic about you, kid." Director Su, who truly felt that Lin Ye had some acting skills, said, "Lin Ye, I have a new play called Jinghai Fury, and there is a killer character that hasn't been decided yet. Why don't you give it a try?" Lin Yeduan suddenly came to his senses. "What scene?" asked Director Su on the phone. Su Jizhou. "The Beijing Sea is raging, I wonder if you are interested in anti-corruption themes." Lin Ye nodded repeatedly and said, "Yes, I'm interested." "What kind of drama is Damn Fury?" "A phenomenal web drama that breaks free from distractions. This web drama has created dual high ratings for both the internet and television stations in its past life. Contributed countless scenes and memes." Lin Ye asked again, "Director Su, when will filming start? What role do you want me to play?" If possible, he wants to play the role of Gao Qiqiang. After all, he has all the experience and acting skills of teacher Zhang Sungwen, so it's easy for him to handle Brother Chang. "We'll start up next week, let's do it. Come and chat with me," and there happened to be several lead actors present. Line. Hang up the phone, Lin Ye is ready to depart for Director Su's house. Zhao Liying picked up a pile of wet clothes from the washing machine and walked to the balcony to dry them. Seeing Lin Ye so excited, she exclaimed, "What's so happy about?" "I'm looking for a new play." "What kind of play is it?" "A web drama with anti-corruption themes, the script is very bold." Zhao Liying smiled and said, "That's a good thing, but you must be brave enough to ask for a pay this time." She didn't say it, Lin Ye almost forgot again. "Now, buddy, at least he's someone who has acted in a big movie before. The salary for the movie is not just 1 million, but definitely 100 and 200,000, right?" I will mention it to the director this time." Lin Ye nodded to express gratitude for the reminder. "By the way, wait a moment." Zhao Liying suddenly put down the hanger and took out a small brown box from her pajama pocket. "Here you are." "What is it?" Lin Ye took the small box and asked inexplicably. "Open it and see if you like it or not." Lin Ye looked at Zhao Liying in confusion and then opened the gift box with curiosity. "That is a dark quartz watch. The pointer is slender, with a slight clicking sound every time it rotates. This watch doesn't look cheap. Did you give it to me?" "Yes, do you like it?" Surprisingly, someone gave themselves a watch. It was from a woman. Lin Ye is such a big girl sitting in a sedan chair, it's her first time. "I like it. Not to mention a watch, as long as it's given by a woman, even a 5 yuan mouse pad can make straight men happy for a month. But may it be too valuable?" Lin Ye was afraid that the watch would be too expensive, so she asked Zhao Liying to pay for it. After all, she is also a young actress and can't save much money all year round. "It's not expensive, it's just over 10,000. This represents a high-profile start to your career as a performer. If you make great achievements in the future, don't forget me." Zhao Liying used her powder fist to hammer Lin Ye's chest. Looking at Zhao Liying, who didn't perform any makeup or funny actions, Lin Ye felt very warm in her heart. "Go ahead." "Well, let's go." Leaving home, Lin Ye rode an electric bike towards Su Dao's house. In order to save time, Lin Ye bought a small electric donkey last month and will no longer have to walk or take a taxi. The helmet was given as a gift when buying an electric car, and wearing it would make the head look loose and saggy. At first glance, no one would think of him as an actor, but rather as a street vendor selling vegetables at a certain market. At the destination, Lin Ye parked the little electric donkey in the yard. This is a villa area that wealthy people in Hengjian love to live in. "Is it Teacher Lin Ye?" A butler-like man walked out of the courtyard and asked with a smile. "Yes, is it safe for my car to park here?" "Ah. Teacher Lin, don't worry, it's very safe." Lin Ye looked around and said, "Oka, where's Director Su?" "They are all upstairs chatting about the script." "Come with me, Teacher Lin." The butler led the way and the two of them climbed onto the second floor of the villa. Along the way, Lin Ye was all sighing. It's truly a mansion worth tens of thousands of yuan, with a swimming pool, garden, parking lot, everything. Living here without a needle or poke. The second floor of the villa is very spacious, with bright lighting. Lin Ye saw Director Su, along with several male actors and 3 female actors, all sitting on the carpet, seemingly chatting about the script. Upon seeing Lin Ye arrive, Director Su took the initiative to say, "Lin Ye is here. Come on, let me introduce you." "I don't need the director to introduce them, I recognize them all. I just need to introduce myself." As is well known, Lin Ye is a social terrorist. Faced with a group of big shots, he showed no fear at all. "Hello everyone, my name is Lin Ye." After speaking, he took the initiative to shake hands with the others separately. "Hello Teacher Zhang Yi, my favorite part is your performance in My Leader, My Team. I have been watching it repeatedly and never tire of it." Zhang Yi politely responded, "Thank you. Teacher Gao Yi, you are more beautiful than on TV. Ha ha ha, you're really good at praising people." Gao Yi felt a sense of familiarity when facing Lin Ye, whose name also had the same character for Yi. Lin Ye suddenly saw a face he didn't want to see. Oh, teacher Zhang Sungwen is also here. We really have a chance. That's right, there is indeed fate. Zhang Sungwen put down the character biography in his hand and took the initiative to extend his hands to grip Lin Ye, explaining to everyone, we just collaborated on a play a few months ago. Lin Ye looked at the biographies of the characters he had left behind. They belonged to Gao Qiqiang. Oh, the character that Lin Ye wants is hopeless. Hello, Longni, beautiful woman. This is not very familiar, Lin Ye doesn't know what else she has played before. Hello. Hello, teacher Li Yitong. Hello, Lin Ye. Hello, teacher Su Xiaoding. Hello, hello. After a shower of rain and dew, Lin Ye finally touched everyone's small hands. Lin Ye looked again at the confirmed list of actors. Police officer in Xian, played by Zhang Yi. Sister-in-law Chen Shooting, played by Gao Yi. Big brother Gao Qiqiang, played by Zhang Sungwen. Brother Gao Qisheng, played by Su Xiaoding. Sister Gao Qilan, played by Long Ni. The last one, Li Yitong, plays in Xian's Qingmei. All 6 lead actors in Jinghai Fury are working together. But now there's a question, Lin Ye asked director Su directly, Director, which role should I play? Oh, didn't you mention before coming here that there's a killer character for you to play, called Lao Mo? Lin Ye finally realized that director Su was going to make him play the role of Fish Killer Master Lao Mo. Okay, the character of Lao Mo is also quite impressive in the drama. Lin Ye's height, physique, and naturally antagonistic face really fit the character of Lao Mo. End of this chapter.